A narcissistic energy vampire is a term used to describe individuals who exhibit narcissistic traits and engage in manipulative and exploitative behaviors that drain the emotional energy or well-being of others. These individuals are often self-obsessed, grandiose, and egotistical, and thrive on draining others of their positive energy. Sound like anyone you know? Hit the like button to let us know. Have you felt emotionally drained by your partner, friend, family member, or co-worker? Well, don't be too hard on yourself. These narcissistic vampires often target individuals who are willing to listen and care for them as they feed on this attention and emotional energy. They are known to exhibit behaviors associated with what's called cluster B personality disorders, which include dramatic, overly emotional, or erratic thinking or behavior. These individuals often target those who are empathetic and willing to provide emotional support, as they can extract the emotional energy they crave from these interactions. They may also target individuals susceptible to their manipulative tactics, such as those who are easily persuaded or emotionally vulnerable. Narcissistic vampires are known to behave poorly around their loved ones, often engaging in accusatory, attacking, and controlling behaviors. They may also target individuals who are willing to provide them with the admiration and attention they crave, as they often struggle with a need for constant validation and approval. When targeted by a narcissistic vampire, individuals may notice differences in how they interact with the narcissist compared to others. For example, you may feel more stressed or angry after interacting with the narcissist, or you may find yourself walking on eggshells around them. This is why narcissistic energy vampires are known for their manipulative and exploitative behaviors, which can leave others feeling exhausted and overwhelmed. They often struggle to feel genuine happiness for others and may exhibit emotional sadism, deriving enjoyment from hurting others. Additionally, they may seek to obtain energy or attention from others in a way that serves to bolster their own self-image and ego. It's important to note that dealing with narcissistic vampires can be challenging, as they may exhibit a lack of empathy and a pervasive pattern of grandiosity. Their behavior can be emotionally draining for those around them, and they may engage in deliberate attacks and emotional manipulation to maintain a sense of power and control. Understanding the traits and behaviors of narcissistic energy vampires can be crucial in identifying and responding to their toxic behavior. Recognizing the signs and protecting oneself from their manipulative tactics is essential for maintaining emotional well-being and setting boundaries in relationships. Now, before we jump into proven steps to defend ourselves against this type of narcissist, I'd ask for you to consider subscribing to the channel. You are not alone, and we continue to answer questions from people who are dealing with narcissists or difficult situations and help them find ways of dealing with them. Also, now that you have a clearer understanding, let me ask, have you ever encountered a narcissistic energy vampire? Hit the like button to let us know. Okay, now let's look at this prime example of a narcissistic vampire in action and see if you can relate. Let's consider a hypothetical scenario involving two characters, Alex, the narcissistic energy vampire, and Jamie, an empathetic, emotionally vulnerable individual. Alex and Jamie started off as friends. At first, Alex was charming, charismatic, and seemingly very interested in Jamie's life. As an empathetic person, Jamie felt drawn to Alex's apparent need for care and emotional support. Over time, however, the dynamic began to change. Alex would often shift conversations to focus on his own problems or achievements, disregarding Jamie's feelings or input. He was quick to demand Jamie's attention, but rarely offered any emotional support in return. Whenever Jamie tried to express their own feelings or concerns, Alex would dismiss them, resort to blaming Jamie, or twist the conversation to elevate his own experiences. This left Jamie feeling unheard, invalidated, and emotionally drained. Moreover, Alex would frequently make passive-aggressive or derogatory comments, undermining Jamie's self-esteem. This could range from subtle jabs about Jamie's appearance to harsh critiques about their life choices. Yet, whenever Jamie tried to confront Alex about his behavior, he would either deny his actions, shift blame onto Jamie, or play the victim. Even though Jamie recognized these red flags, their empathetic nature and emotional vulnerability made it difficult for them to set boundaries or distance themselves from Alex. They were constantly drawn into a cycle of trying to help Alex, only to be met with manipulation and emotional exhaustion. This is a typical example of how a narcissistic energy vampire might interact with an empathetic and emotionally vulnerable person. It underscores the importance of recognizing these patterns and taking steps to protect oneself from such draining and harmful relationships. In summary, let's look at the main ways this vampire drains emotional energy. What narcissistic tactics do they use? Narcissists drain emotional energy through various manipulative tactics, some of which include 1. Emotional manipulation. Narcissists often use emotional manipulation to control and dominate others. This can involve guilt-tripping, gaslighting, or playing on the emotions of their targets to elicit specific responses or behaviors. 2. Invalidation. They may consistently invalidate the emotions and experiences of others, making their targets feel unheard, insignificant, or unworthy. This can lead to a sense of self-doubt and emotional exhaustion. 3. Attention-seeking behavior. Narcissists crave constant attention and validation. They may monopolize conversations, shift the focus to themselves, or demand excessive admiration, leaving little room for others to express themselves. 4. Exploitative behavior. They often exploit the empathy and kindness of others for their own gain, taking without giving in return. This can leave their targets feeling emotionally depleted and unappreciated. 5. Emotional devaluation. By devaluing the emotions and experiences of others, narcissists create an environment where their targets feel insignificant and unimportant. This can lead to a diminished sense of self-worth and emotional exhaustion. So what can you do to protect yourself against the draining of emotional energy? It's important for individuals to recognize these patterns and establish boundaries to protect themselves. To protect yourself from a narcissistic energy vampire, consider the following steps. First, recognize the signs. Learn to identify the behaviors and traits associated with narcissistic energy vampires. We can help you recognize when you're being targeted and provide you with steps to protect yourself. Next is to calmly set boundaries. It's okay to speak up and say enough. Stay calm and don't lose control. Be polite and start with either just walking away if you're feeling emotional or by saying, "I've noticed that our conversations often leave me feeling drained," or say, "I can talk for 15 minutes, but then I need to go." This is an example of limiting the amount of emotional energy and attention you provide to them and being assertive about your own needs. Third is to take care of yourself first. This means engaging in activities that recharge and uplift you and seeking support from trusted individuals who understand the dynamics of dealing with narcissistic energy vampires. Fourth is to limit your time around this person. If possible, minimize your exposure to individuals who exhibit narcissistic behaviors. This may involve reducing the frequency and depth of interactions with them to protect your emotional energy. Fifth is to seek support. If you feel the situation is getting out of control, consider seeking support from therapists, support groups, or individuals who have experience in dealing with narcissistic personalities. This can provide valuable insights and strategies for coping with and protecting yourself from their draining behaviors. By recognizing the signs, setting boundaries, prioritizing self-care, limiting exposure, and seeking support, you can take proactive steps to protect yourself from the draining effects of narcissistic energy vampires. Also, check out this video on narcissistic rage. What sets them off? It will provide a better way of handling situations where the narcissistic vampire might get angry and escalate your situation out of control. As we continue our series on narcissism, we encourage you to subscribe to learn the latest insights and strategies for dealing with challenging personalities. See you in our next video.